Yeah, I hope you guys are able to see my screen and able to hear me.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you. So let's get started. Admin, can you please start the live? Just give me a minute. I'm just asking admin to start the live. So these classes will be YouTube live. You can watch any number of times later. Yeah. So welcome to the session. My name is Karthik. So today we are going to learn what is, I mean, what is the content that we are going to cover under the multi-threading in core Java. So my name is Karthik. I'm going to facilitate this session. And a brief introduction about myself is I have close to 15 years of experience and I work as an architect in one of the MNC. I do take the classes in the morning. I've been teaching from past four to 5 years with Ashok IT. And my expertise in teaching in core Java, advanced Java, design patterns, data structures, collections, threads, Java 8, 9, 11. So I can teach Spring Boot microservices, but there are so many tutors. So my concentration is on the basics and completely practical coding. That's a brief intro about me. Let's get into the course. So on my screen, you can see, right? The screen, right? Can someone confirm?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. So the basic problem why we came up with this threads, complete threads course is, so many of you have joined already core Java or learned core Java somewhere, right? But the problem when it comes to thread, can someone tell me what is the problem you guys are facing? You might have learned, uh, you guys might have learned the core Java in some other institute, or you might have learned on your own. But in the interview or when it comes to your project, do you guys have any information on how to debug a thread, how to work with a thread? Is it correct? You do not have much information on working on how to deal with the threads. Am I right?
Yes.
Yeah. So guys, let's make it as an interactive session. I I encourage everyone, like I don't mute anyone. So whenever I ask a question, if you would like to answer it, unmute yourself and speak, or you can put your answer in the chat. Okay. So the reason we broken this into a currently Jan 20 I started with a core Java. So Jan 20 I started with a core Java. So in the core Java we came from starting like simple basics of core Java, and then we just completed the OOP concepts. Okay. And then after the OOP, I wanted to start threads. So that's where I got some suggestions earlier also in the past 4 years that instead of attending the entire core Java for 3 months, there are some students who wanted to attend for threads only. And they want to learn only threads end to end. So that's the reason I started this one. So in this, so this course will take 20 to 25 days. And what we are going to learn in the threads is these are the things. The prerequisite for this course is to have the core Java knowledge. When I say core Java, you need to know how to create a class, how to create an object, what is inheritance, what is polymorphism, abstraction, encapsulation. Some knowledge about the core Java is needed. And then it would be good for you to continue with the threads. So that is a prerequisite. And coming to the course content, so we are going to see what is a thread, how many ways we can create a thread object, how normal program Java normal program execution is different from thread program execution. I can show you directly with a debugging. Thread life cycle, different thread states, and there is something called synchronization, right? We use synchronized keyword in Java. What is the use of it? And what is object lock? What is class lock? Synchronization versus lock, right? So there is a synchronization keyword is already present, and there is an interface called lock in Java. So why do we use that? And what is inter-thread communication? So, and difference between sleep and wait methods. What does the sleep method do? What does the wait method do? Why wait, notify are all present in object class? Yield method, join method. What is a drawback of a thread? So see, not only a advantage of a thread, there are some drawbacks of a thread too. What are those? So there is some concept called thread pool. So why do we use a thread pool? So the simple answer is, in order to overcome the drawback of a thread, we go for thread pool. So how many thread pools are there in Java? Like these are the thread pools, like single thread pool, cached thread pool, fixed thread pool, scheduled thread pool. These thread pools are part of executor framework. So we are going to see what is a executor framework. In the executor framework itself, there is something called callable interface. So the third way of creating a thread is by using a callable interface. What is the difference between callable interface, runnable interface? So what is the executor framework? Now, we are also going to look at one example on how to implement a multi-threading in our real-time projects. I'll take one salary calculation example, and I can implement it. And I will also tell you how you can implement in your project if you tell me the functionality. And then we are going to look at what is future. Future is an interface in Java, but what is the use of it? What is volatile keyword in Java? Deadlock. How to avoid the deadlock? Atomicity. So we have some variables called atomic integer, atomic long. What are those? Difference between lock and synchronization, which I have discussed already. So there are some different locks: reentrant lock, read write lock, and then countdown latch, semaphore, cyclic barrier, thread local, thread groups. And in Java 8, some changes have happened to the executor framework. We are going to see that. And then I'm going to tell you what is producer consumer. So there is some implementation like producer consumer. Like if you take Uber, whenever you book a cab, so you enter uh, source and destination, right? From where you want to start and where you want to go. You enter that, and then when you click on a cab, you are a producer. And who is a consumer? The cab driver around you. So within a 10 kilometers or within a 2 kilometers radius, there may be multiple cab owners, right? And all will get an invite. And whoever is consuming it or whoever is accepting it, they will be assigned as your driver, right? So this is one of the typical real world producer consumer problem. Now, if I have to implement producer consumer problem, how can I implement it? Okay. And then we see interview questions. And the timing is morning. This is wrong here. This is earlier one. So morning 7 a.m. to 8 a.m., which you are joining, right? Every day morning 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. And the fee is 2000. It was earlier 2500, but this time we reduced it to 2000 only. And the duration of this course is 25 to 30 days. In the 25 to 30 days, we are going to cover all of this with a practical explanation. Now, does anyone has any questions on the course content? Any questions?
No, sir.
Yeah. So I take that silence as no question. But if you have a question, please feel free to ask. I encourage the what you call discussion rather than keeping it silent and taking the questions at the end. Okay. Now, so as I mentioned, we'll be getting started with thread set. Let's see today what is a thread. Okay. So okay. So the definition of a thread says, most of the interview they will be asking what is a thread, right? Does anyone know what is a thread? Who knows Java already? What is a thread? Definition of a thread. Don't worry. Whatever you know the answer, you can give it. Even if it is wrong, also not a problem. Yeah. Yeah. Thread is a process. I got one answer. Thread is a process. Any other thing? Okay. The definition of a thread is Thread is a independent path of execution within a same program. Okay. Thread is an independent path of execution within a same program. Yeah. So Narsima, you said correct. Independent path of execution. So did you join any of my earlier classes, Narsima? Or you already know this explanation? Okay, fine. But your answer is right. So it's a thread is an independent path of execution within a same program. But how can I prove this one? See, I'm telling you the definition, right? So now I need to prove that, right? So may I know how can I prove that? So let's create. Now let's see how to create a thread. So I'm creating a new project, new Java project. I'm just naming it as multi-threading, 06 multi-threading. Okay, let me put multi-threading 06. I'm using Java 8 as a one runtime environment, clicking next and then finish. So now we can see that multi-threading 06 has created and I got a SRC folder. I'm just creating a package com dot ashokit dot thread basics. Okay, so let me create a class inside this. I'm putting thread example, right? So now I will come to that how to create a thread later. How to create a thread? There are different ways to create a thread. So I will explain that later. But first of all, we need to understand what is a thread and how thread is different from normal Java program execution, correct? So first, so the ways to create a thread is, first way is by extending thread class. Okay, by extending thread class. So what is an extending? Extends is nothing but, may I know what is it, in which concept the extends keyword comes into picture?
Inheritance.
Inheritance. So I'm telling extending thread class. That means thread is a class. There might be a class called thread. See, you guys can see that thread is a class in Java, correct? See, java.lang package. Am I able to see the thread class, predefined class provided by Java now? Right? So is this a class created by me? Thread class, is it created by me? No, it's already there with a Java, correct? So now I'm just showing you the thread class. Now, so the way is by extending the thread class. So that means I create a class extends thread. So don't worry, I will teach you why to extend a thread class, etc. Some details later. But in order to, now first let's understand the definition of a thread. So in order to understand the definition of a thread, you need to create a thread. I'm just giving you one way to create a thread is by extending a thread class. Whenever, and then you need to in the thread class, there is a method called run method. See, in the thread class, there is a method called run method. So I have to override the run method. So what if I don't override it? All these things we will see later. But whenever you want to understand a definition of a thread, first extend a thread class and then override the run method. So now I have overridden the run method. I'm writing here sysout inside run method. And then how can a main program be executed? You have to have the main method, correct? So create a main method. Now, how to start a thread? By calling the start method. Thread can be started by calling the start method. Okay. Now, first create a object of this class, thread example T equal to new thread example T dot start. So this start method is responsible to create a thread execution. Okay, so don't worry about this program. I will explain why am I overriding this run method, why am I calling this start method, why am I creating this object. We'll come to that all these things later. First of all, understand the definition of a thread. Now, what did I say? That thread is an independent path of execution within the same program. Now let me run this program. If I run as Java application, so do you see? Now I am running a Java application. I got hi, and then I am getting inside run method. Now let me run some other method. So let me write. I am running this method, this program. Do I see any difference? Let me comment this code. So I am running the thread program. I am running the normal Java program without thread. I don't see any differentiation, correct? Do you guys observe any differentiation? Do you guys, are you guys with me? Say I'm running this program, run as Java application. But the definition I have said is thread is an independent path of execution. So when I run a program, do you see any difference? No, right? Ravi answered is no. What about others? Guys, please speak up and make it as an interactive session. Do you see any difference with the normal program execution and then the thread example?
No.
No, right? It is same, right? It is, we are not able to understand what is happening. See, let me put here, I am executing hi, right? So if I run this login validation program, it is also running and it is giving the output, but I don't see that there is a thread is an independent path of execution, right? Now, so the best way to understand a thread is by debugging. Okay. Now, let me show you. Right click, debug as Java application. Right click, debug as Java application. So what is the starting point of a program in Java? Where does the program execution starts in
Main
Java?
method.
Main method. So now in the debug section, do you see my control is in the main method now? Yeah. So those who know Java, you might know that main method is also a thread, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So you can see that thread main. That means the main method is also a thread, and the name of the main thread, that thread is main thread. Now currently, how many flow of executions are there, guys? How many flow of executions are there? One flow, that is in line number 15, correct? So if I click on this, I'll go to the next line, correct? Line number 16. I want to do line by line execution. See, so currently there is only one flow of execution. Agree with me?
Yes.
Yeah. Now, so what I'm saying is whenever, see, so this start method, see, once you create a create a some class, extend a thread class and create a object of this class, child class, and call the start method. This start method is responsible to create a thread. So why to call the start method? What happens in the start method? That's all secondary, right? So what I'm saying is this start method is responsible to create a thread. So whenever it is creating a thread, the definition I said is thread is an independent path of execution. Currently, there is only one execution. So from this line, in order to prove my definition, it should create one more execution, correct? Let's see that. So see, now you guys tell me how many executions are there in my program now? One is in thread main, which is in line number 17, correct? See, but there is something called whenever, as soon as I clicked on F6 from this line number 3 dot start, then do you see one more execution has started? And that execution is in which method? Run method, correct? Line number 10. So that means how many flow of executions are there in this program now?
2.
2. That means, can I say that thread is an independent path of execution? See, your main method is one execution, correct? And from this line, one more independent path of execution started. But what is the starting of that line, that execution? Run method, correct? Do you visualize now? Thread is an independent path of execution within a same program. You agree? Now, now let's do one more, two more threads to create some. So here I'm just creating different thread objects: T1, T2, T1 dot start, T2 dot start. Now, if I run this program, you tell me. So first, the program execution starts from main method. That's a normal main program, correct? That is one execution. See, T dot start means first thread I'm starting. T1 dot start means second thread. T2 dot start means third thread. So how many independent path of execution should be created? Three, right? Let's see. See, first T dot start is creating one flow of execution. So as we know that Java program execution starts from main method. Similarly, thread program execution starts from run method. I repeat, thread program execution starts from run method. Why run method? We will see later. Okay. So now, so the definition of a thread says that whenever start method is responsible to create a independent path of execution. See here, this is a Java documentation, correct? See, causes thread to begin execution. The Java virtual machine calls the run method of this thread. See, causes this thread to begin execution. That means it is responsible to create a thread. Now, what is a thread? That means from this line of code, one more independent path of execution will start. Look at here. See, do you see? Now, let's go to main method again. Click it. See, now someone tell me how many different independent executions are there? See, the first main method is executing line number 21. So the thread 0 is some other, see, if I am clicking F6, see, does this change in other program? No, correct? So that means main method is one independent path of execution. Thread 0 is one independent path. Thread 1 is independent path. Thread 2 is independent path, correct? So now, can my definition make sense? Thread is an independent path of execution within the same program. Does it make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah, Deb Jyoti, we are going to learn the executive service. That is part of it. I just covered that in the course content also. Yeah, Ravi, yes, you need to call the start method for every thread. Don't worry, I'll come to that all of those later. First, I mean, to understand better, thread is an independent path of execution. Now, does the definition make sense to you guys now?
Yes.
Yes.
Others, do you guys agree? Everyone?
Yes.
Yeah. Now, let's look at what is the difference between, now there is a concept called threads. There should be some advantage, right? So what is the advantages? Let us see. So what happens now? Let's write a program. I am writing one class called example. Okay. In this example, so the most frequent example is some of you guys might be working or from college graduates, right? You might be looking for a job. That is the most important thing, right? Yeah, Debjyoti, I will show you the course content at the end. Okay. So now let's calculate. So whenever a person is working in any organization, whether it's IT, hardware, anywhere, you need a salary. For example, in my main method, so I will write a method called public void calculate salary. Okay. So this salary is taking. So every company will have an employee object, correct? So employee, this salary is taking employee object. Let's create a class called employee. First, in this one, I am creating a class called employee. So what we are going to learn is what is the difference between a Java main method execution and then the thread execution, how thread will benefit. So employee will have int emp id, double salary, string emp name. Let's create a setter getter. Source generates getters and setters using the fields. Okay. Now generate source. I'm generating a constructor also. Okay. Now in a company, let us take that. So now here, see what I'm going to, how to calculate a salary. That's all different, right? For example, if the basic salary is 10,000 per day. So let us take that. If a person is earning his per day basic salary is this 10,000 rupees. And in that month, in the month of February, he worked for 25 days. Okay, then he, at a high level, what would be his salary? Can someone tell me? Per day, you are getting 10,000 and you worked for 25 days in the month of February. Then what is your salary? 25
2,50,000.
multiplied by 10,000. It is as simple as that, correct? I mean, don't complicate it because we are not here to learn the how to calculate a salary. We are here to learn the threads, right? So this is simple fundamental, correct? That means salary calculation is nothing but your basic salary multiplied by number of working days, correct? Basic salary multiplied by number of working days. Or some people will say that, sir, we'll have a HRA, TA, DA, income tax, and all those all comes later, right? Now, so now here, let us think that in this calculate salary is the method where you need to write how you are calculating a salary, correct? In the salary, you have a gross salary, net salary, etc. Right? So can I say that this method is a placeholder to write entire logic of calculating salary, correct? Agree? Now this salary is taking 10,000. So here you have written, let us take 5,000 lines of code. Okay, 5,000 lines of code. For each employee, if you pass the employee object to this method, then this 5,000 lines will execute and it will calculate the salary, correct? Now, in an organization, let us take TCS. So in TCS, how many employees are there roughly? In TCS, how many employees will be there in roughly?
2 lakh.
Close to 6 lakhs or 5 lakhs or something, correct? Now, so all this employee information will be there in the database, correct? What first I will do? I will write execute select star from employee. I'll take the data from the employee table, right? And then I will create a list object. Then can I say I have to simply use a loop for I equal to 0, I less than 2 lakhs, correct? That means for all the people. And then I will call this calculate salary method. Let's make this method as a static method because main method is a static. From one static method, you can call another static. So I have to pass this employee object. Okay. Now, if I pass like this, can someone tell me, can this program will execute parallelly or sequentially? When I say parallelly or sequentially, say when I equal to see, whenever in Java, whenever the loop starts, so why do you use loop? Loop is used to iterate it for iterative process. If a work is there, you want to do multiple times, then we go for loop. So basically we have for loop. So first you have the initialization parameter int I equal to 0 and the condition till this condition is true, this condition it will go inside this block. And every time you are incrementing by I plus means one value. Okay. Now when I equal to 0, 0 less than 2 lakhs, is it true? Yes. Then it will execute. So that means it's a sequential programming. That means correct. So when I equal to 0, it will execute. After it will wait when I was 0, it will come to this line, calculate salary method, and it has to execute all these 5,000 lines. Then only it can go for I equal to 1. Agree? Again, when I equal to 1, you are passing a different employee, and then it will come here. It has to execute all these 5,000 lines, and then only it can go to I equal to 2. That means, is it happening sequentially or parallelly? So that means whatever the programming that you are writing, in the simple main method using it's a sequential programming. Agree? Do you guys agree with me? Guys, does everyone agree or do you have any different thought? It's a sequential, right? Whatever I am doing, right? Now, since I know how to create a thread, now can I break this loops into multiple? So first, see, whenever I'm creating a thread, where does the thread flow of execution started? Thread will create an independent path, correct? See, what I wanted to do is in the first thread, I will run the loop I will write a for loop in the first thread, first 50,000 employees. See, 0 to 50,000 employees, I am calculating a salary using the first thread, correct? Now, in the second thread also will start again. See, so from here, I can pass runtime arguments, right? Employee object, I can pass it. And in the first thread, I wanted to do the calculation of a first 50,000 employees. And in the second thread, I want to do the calculation for 50,001 to how do we do? That's a different, we'll do it later. 50,001 to 1 lakh. Okay. Now in the third thread, we'll take 1 lakh, 1 to 2 lakh employees. So now you tell me if I write the same program of salary calculation, whatever we have seen this sequential programming into a thread, can I say that this thread can execute parallelly? Yes or no? Can this thread execute parallelly? Yeah. Whenever it is executing, so let's do it. How to do that? So now what I'm telling is in the run method, let's write for. See, I'm not starting I value. I'm starting this value is start employee, start EMP number. I'm just creating. Okay. Int end EMP number. Okay. Now this I will, how can I pass it? This I will initialize with constructor. So I'm just trying to tell you what is the difference, guys. Don't worry about the programming. You will understand. I mean, I will tell you how to write it better. Int end employee. So this dot start employee number equal to start EMP number. This dot end EMP number equal to end EMP number. So now what I'm doing is start EMP number I'm putting here. I'm not starting with 0, correct? And end EMP number, I'm putting that end EMP number. Till that, I want to do the logic execution and I want to increment by every one by one. Now, always what I want to execute, salary calculation, right? Let's copy this program. Let's copy this method, copy and put it here. For every employee, what I want to execute in this for loop, calculate salary. Okay. Now here, first thread, what I said, first thread, I want to calculate the salary of first employee to 50,000 employees, correct? Now, second thread, I want to execute 50,001 to 1 lakh. Okay. Now, third thread, I want to execute 1 lakh 1 to 2 lakh. Okay. Now, can I say that can I say here in the sequential programming, after I equal to 0, first employee is completed, then only it can go to second employee. Second employee is completed, then only it can go to third employee. But in the thread, if I execute it, let's run the program. Debug as Java application. Now I'll just debug it. I want someone to please summarize that what you can understand, what you have understood. Now, first thread program execution is starting, correct? Now, see here, I have to this thread example class, I have called the constructor. And in the constructor, I have kept the first thread is I want to execute 1 to 50,000. That means first employee to 50,000 employee. So whenever I say thread t.start, it will execute thread. right? See, one independent path of execution is started. Now let's create second independent, third independent. Now how many programs are executing parallelly in my program? 4 executions, correct? Now the first thread is taking, see here what is happening when I equal to 0 is there, then I equal to 1 will come only after I equal to 0 is completed, correct? That means first employee is completed, then only it can go to second employee. But if you look at here in the thread example, what is the start number? 1. What is the end number? 50,000. That means this first thread is calculating a salary for 1 to 50,000 employees. And at the same time, parallelly, second thread also is independent path of execution, and it is also running 50,001 to 1 lakh employees, it can execute. And third thread also can execute for 1 lakh 1 to 2 lakh employees. Now, by splitting that program by using threads, am I doing the work parallelly or not? Using threads?
Yes.
Yeah. So that is the beauty. Now, do you see the beauty of thread? What is the advantage? Now, you tell me, for example, if for each employee, see this logic is taking 5 minutes of time. Let us take that this calculate salary will take 5 minutes of time. Then in order to execute this 2 lakh employees, how much time it will take? One employee calculation will take 2 minutes, sorry, 5 minutes. Then 2 lakh employees calculation will take how much time? 2 lakh multiplied by 5, correct? Which is equal to 10 lakhs minutes, correct? Agree? But if you come to the thread programming, say here, see, can I say now here how much? See, this will take how much time? Here, this 50,000 records, 50,000 multiplied by 5, 2,50,000 minutes. And at the same time, this also can execute. At the same time, it also can execute, correct? So now, that means, am I reducing the time using a thread? So this is called, can I call this as a parallel programming or parallel processing? Right? So what is the advantage of a thread? Thread will create parallel processing, or thread will allow us to do the parallel execution. So that is the reason in Java. So when the Java has created, right, there were no other programming languages which can provide thread kind of a functionality. This is also one of the reasons why Java has become so popular in the 90s or 80s or 70s. So this is the one best programming, and using executors also you can do multi-threading. So that's the best thing. Even now in the Spring Boot, you can do the multi-threading, correct? Spring Batch. Spring Batch is a framework through which you can do. But that also, what is the underlining concept? It's a thread concept only. I hope everyone understand the definition of a thread and the advantage of a thread. Any questions? Does anyone has any questions?
No.
Have you learned something new, guys? Okay. So someone is asking about the course content. Let me show you. Dev Jyoti, I think, yeah, you are the one who has the course content, right? See, here, there is a course content, you can see. Yes, today I have explained using program, right? So entire all these concepts, even executive framework, thread pools, volatile keyword, read write, countdown light, semaphore, cyclic barrier, produce a consumer problem. Every concept I am going to explain through the programming only.
Sir, what is the course fee
2,000 rupees.
and validity for the recording?
I think it's 6 months or 1 year. For 6 months for sure. You might get 1 year also. I can confirm that from the admin.
And when the demo is going to be ended?
So maybe Monday.
Okay, fine.
So today is, because it's just a 25 days, right? So I wanted to provide the demo today, tomorrow, Friday, and then Monday will be the last demo.
Okay. And so one more thing is out of context. I'm your already existing student of Java collection. Now the second thing is that that time you told that you will be planning to schedule a batch for Java new features.
Yes,
Is there any
I do
plan?
that. Not immediately, but after this, currently I'm teaching core Java. So core Java is started on 20 January. So this multi-threading is part of core Java. There are some students who want entire core Java. There are some students who want only collections or only threads, right? So for that the reason, so we just completed the OOP basics of core. Okay. Now we started with threads. After that collections. Then I might take Java 8, 9, 11.
Okay, so that probably coming around April or March.
Not April and or May, something like that. Not
April or May.
not March.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Karthik, sir, I have to ask that these small topics where you are giving demo, some people are segregating these different topics, and otherwise your core Java include this also?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
core Java. See, if you wanted to join for core Java, right? So in
End to
core
end.
Java, I'll cover everything. Like first, how to install a Java. See, some people might know little bit of knowledge. Some people doesn't know anything. I assume that no one knows anything. So I start from basics to master.
How many months you take to
Core
complete
Java, it takes 3 months. So already we completed 1 month. So the current core Java course is only going on. So which we started on Jan 20. We completed the basics of core Java like OOP principles, encapsulation, abstraction, polymorphism, encapsulation, etc. We completed, and then today only we are starting with the threads. So that's why I made it as a separate batch for those who wanted to threads, join only for threads. But if you wanted to be part core Java, you don't need to get all of this. Collections, threads, everything is covered.
total charges for core Java?
It's 5,000.
Okay. So this
And
core,
you have a recording up to 1 year also.
okay, so core Java you already started. Do you have any new batch?
Not now.
Okay,
You
when
can it is difficult for me because I prefer teaching data structures and algorithms, but I got some because I see people will realize the core Java importance only when you go for interview and then you fail 2 or 3 interviews and then only come back and say that have to learn core Java, right? Everyone will take light, right? So I try to teach, but there are people there are not much students are showing up, but everyone is interested in the data structure. So I prefer taking data structures, but there are some existing students who asked me to take the core Java, hence I'm taking it.
Okay, so if I'll give 5,000 and 1 month I'll revise through your recording, then you'll help me to further doubts.
Yes. You can join if, for example, if you wanted to enroll don't enroll first
I know
without learning.
Java because since 2 years I'm working on Selenium projects. I'm automation engineering. So with some company real-time volunteer experience they'll give. But yeah, I studied a lot. I know it, but throughout step by step I wanted to revise. If you can tell the doubts, I can join in the middle also.
Yeah. So currently the classes are going on, right? So what you can do is, let me quickly, just give me a minute. Don't join blindly. First, I'll give you the demo classes. Okay.
All right.
You will be getting an email from the Ashok IT today or tomorrow. In that,
Okay.
I'll ask them to put the demo class videos of core Java. Okay.
All right.
So you listen to those core Java videos and then take your decision. And so this, I said 20 classes are completed, right? You can watch those recordings any number of time at any time.
Java, so that's why I can follow a recording and I can ask the doubts. That's I can pick up.
Yes.
No problem. That is not
Correct.
an issue. Okay.
Yeah, you can do that, and I'm going to answer the questions.
Yeah,
All
hi
right.
Karthik, Pranit here from your
Just give
core
me a
Java.
minute. Yeah, just a minute, Pranit. See, guys, this is Ashok IT YouTube channel. I think you might be knowing. Just go to YouTube, type Ashok IT, you get a channel. Just click on the live section. These are my demo videos. See, core Java and
Can you
data
send
structures.
us your link of core Java in chat so that I can follow it directly?
Just give me a minute. I'm sending it to everyone. So these are the demo videos. Maybe 1 or 2 videos are not there, but there was a problem of demo. See here, you can see core Java and data structures, right? I
Are
think
you
these are,
the feature rate Java
no,
like
that is
Lambda?
different. Yeah, Lambdas is different. That I have a separate course of Java 8, 9, 11. See, teaching is not a problem, but if you include all of this, right, this itself will take 1 year. So, but people want everything quick, right? So make it into a pieces and then learn,
Okay. All right.
right? I mean, agree with me, right? Everyone wants quickly, right?
I've been involved in this since 2 years with automation, Java, and Selenium, so I'm okay with it. I can pick up. So, yeah, I'll see your sessions and I'll do your demo class and then I'll decide.
Yeah, sure.
So
So, and if you see, as I mentioned, I teach Java collections, data structure, design patterns, right? If you scroll down, see Java collections and DSA, these are also my demo videos. And Java new features. You are asking for 8, 9, 11, right? So wherever you see Java new features, 8, 9, 11. So this is also mine. So if you scroll down, you can see lambdas, like basically what is a functional interface? Why do we have a static method in interface? Why do we have a default method in interface? How to create a lambda expression? What is a lambda? Lambda allows functional programming, right? What exactly the functional programming? All of those I already taught in the demo classes. Okay, you can listen to this wherever you see Java 8, 9, 11, right? Just scroll down. See, this is session 1. So you can look it from here. You can get that information as well.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, Pranit. So sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, hi. Yeah, okay. Hi, Karthik. So basically, I was missing the classes of the OOP principles from your last class. I was having some health issues, so I was not able to attend those sessions. But basically, I have, attended till inheritance, abstraction, polymorphism, like not encapsulation. And I think you started this multi-threading, right? So my question to you is like,
I
I will
think
cover end of the day, but do I have to, is it important for me to cover that to understand this current ongoing multi-threading topic, or I can continue this and in the meanwhile time I can able to cover that encapsulation?
Yeah, so
That
I
was my
prefer
question.
Saturday, Sunday will be holiday, right? Better to cover. So
Yes, yes.
how much ever you are good in core Java, then only you can get the other details. See, do
Yeah,
you
in
agree
the
with me?
OOPS
Every day,
itself.
some are the other topic, important topic I am going to
True, true,
bring
true.
in the
That's
class,
true.
right?
That's true. Yes,
Yeah,
that's true.
so
I
better
understand
to
that.
revise it ASAP. See, as per human tendency, what happens is, right? Uh, if you leave it, then it will be left forever, right?
Yeah,
So you might
definitely.
be
I mean, I
thinking
will
that
get back to it for the encapsulation and little bit of
no, I'm
polymorphism
saying,
as well.
say
Yeah.
you might say, if I say that complete over the weekend, you have some seriousness. If
Yes,
I
yes,
say
yes.
that,
True.
yeah, you can do it later also, then instead of this weekend, you will do next weekend. Next weekend will go to
Got it.
next weekend, right?
Got it. Got it. Got
So
it.
it's a human tendency. It happens with me also. But
Yeah.
if you are serious to learn, then do it ASAP.
But other than that, multi-threading is no way related to this OOP principles,
So
is it?
I'll see multi-threading also, I'll be starting like core Java. See, encapsulation I
Okay.
started with the starting, right?
No, I mean,
Or
I missed that
I
encapsulation
mean,
part.
and when
That's
I
what,
say encaps,
yeah.
okay, let's take inheritance or OP
Okay.
principles. I started
Okay.
with the basics, right? The same thing will be continued.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So parallelly attending this
You can
multi-threading
listen.
classes, I'll also go back, but I won't be facing difficulty to understand these concepts, these classes, right?
Yes, yes.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, that's what my question was, and thank you.
Karthik sir, one more question that this is the time when you are taking the class?
Yes, morning 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. That's it.
All right, okay. Okay.
Can someone who are part of my core Java can you share your feedback? Like how the classes are going on, how the information, etc.
Yeah, yes, definitely, definitely. I mean, the way you teach with the core Java concepts, initially I have zero knowledge and zero experience in this Java field. But when started with your class, actually, you start with why and then explain the topic. That is a good thing I felt. Instead of rather directly jumping into the topic and explaining what is what, and you actually explain the like question, like why we have to use this, why only we have to use this. If so, what are the other techniques and how? Then that's how it is a easy way to remember and understand the concepts and with a lot of examples. That I felt was a good explanation way which you do. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that is my feedback on the OOP principles core Java class.
Okay.
Any other would like to share any feedback?
Yeah, same for me also. I have zero knowledge on core Java. I don't know about what is Java, and I don't know how to write the program also. By attending your class, now I can able to write the program. Thank you, sir.
Guys, so those who do not know me or those who joined today, see, I'm asking the feedback now.
Sorry, your voice is not audible.
Yeah, I can't hear your voice, Karthik. I think we can't hear your voice.
Am I audible?
Yep.
Yeah,
Now
now
Yeah,
you
sorry.
are.
Now you are.
Yeah, sorry. There was a power failure. So sorry for that. So the reason I'm asking them to share the feedback is as simple as that. What I see, you might go to real time. If you take, we all buy dress, right? For simple dress, 1,000 rupees, it just takes shopping 30 minutes of time. It's not about matter of money, it's a matter of time, right? You just go and then buy, not buy the dress, right? You trial the dress. Even if you shop it on Myntra, you take the shirt or dress, you trial it, and then if it is not like it, you return it back, right? So that means what small shirt itself, you are doing so much things. But see, for some people, 5,000 is not a big deal. They can pay. But once you paid it, I you have to spend the 30 hours of time. See, 30 hours of time is very good, right? I mean, you can even go to Goa and come back, right? So it's
Yeah.
a matter of time. So
Yeah.
I'm asking the feedback of others who joined it. Because for small things itself, we are taking a lot of time, and then whether to go buy it or not. When you are spending 30 years of entire core Java means 3 months, close to 3 months means 70 to 80 sessions, 70 to 80 hours you wanted to spend. That means that much quality of time you are spending. So before that, you need to know whether whatever I am going to teach is helpful or not. If you join, no problem. If you doesn't join, no problem. But take a decision based on your feedback. I mean, listen to the demos and then take a decision. That's the only thing. See, money, if not today, some other day I'll get it. That shouldn't. And I'm not saying that I'm not teaching without money. I'm not doing anything for free. But whatever I'm telling you, it should useful in your life. If someone says that I got a job because of your teaching, it gives you so much happiness, right? So that's the thing. Money is important, but not everything. So so what I suggest you guys is, whoever is interested, so I just pinged the link, right? Just go to the demo classes. If you want to join for entire core Java, you listen to the demo classes and then join. Or if you want to join only for multi-threading, today is the first class. Next, continue with till Monday we have a demo classes. Just continue. After listening to the demos, if you are not interested, no problem, right? If you are interested, continue. That's it. And someone asking about the executor, right? I think Debjyoti, this Java multi-threading executor. This is the one of the workshop I have taken, the free workshop on how to. I'm just talking about executor framework only. The Java multi-threading executors framework. You can listen to this to get knowledge on the executor framework. Okay. So any other questions, concerns?
Sir, are we going to see the parallel execution? For example, if we have a big process wherein we thought
So
of.
in the executor framework, I'm going to tell you how to do it.
Okay. So
See, if for
running
example, if I have 10 records, if I am able to split it 3 records, 3 records, 3 records,
okay,
we can do that for 10,000 records also, correct?
that is what I have seen.
I will show you.
Like lakhs of records.
I'll tell you how that will segregation. See, in real time, you will run a program. You don't know how to visualize a thread, correct?
Right.
But if you want to understand a thread, you need to debug. In your production application, you cannot debug, correct? But if you understand now, then obviously that will be setting in your brain that you can understand easily how it is going to happen in the background, correct?
Right.
So I am going to explain that during the till executors, we learn the basics, right? How to create a thread, different ways of thread creation, synchronized keyword, lock interface, etc. But after that, I'm going to explain how a big 10 lakh records can be easily processed in the 30 minutes or 40 minutes. If it is taking 2 hours, you can reduce it. How do you do? Using executive framework. That I am going to explain.
Sir,
Okay,
we are doing
okay.
in
That helps a lot, sir. Yeah.
we are doing threading in TestNG framework just to automate parallel execution.
Yeah. So that TestNG internally uses Java multi-threading only.
Yeah. There is, we are just with the POM dependency, the test
Yes.
ML will come, and there we are giving the different threads, like, or we can include or exclude whatever maybe, but yeah. So I know core Java, but not like sequence wise with the teacher I wanted to go so that my like interview will be cracked. So that's why I'm looking for it.
Yeah, sure. Just look at the demos and take your decision.
Yeah, sure.
And Ravi, to answer your question, if you wanted to look at it, there is a video. You can see my cursor, right?
Yeah.
Java multi-threading executors. Go to Ashok IT live.
Okay.
Ashok IT channel, click on live, scroll down. You can see Java multi-threading executors framework. So this, if this may be 1.5 hour session or something. So if you watch it, you will get to know how.
Sure, sir. Okay.
Yes, Lokesh, that is what I was saying. If you enroll for core Java, so all the 20 days recordings also will be given to you. You can listen to that. You can ask any question in the upcoming classes. And multi-threading also will be continued. And after multi-threading, we'll also have collections. Collections also will be part of the core Java itself. Okay. Yeah. So I think we are on top of time and 5 minutes late. So if no question, then that's all for today, guys. Yeah. Thank you all. Thanks for joining. Tomorrow also demo classes will be continued. Look forward to you. See you in the tomorrow
So
class.
what time you are studying, sir?
7 a.m. to 8 a.m. I'll
Okay.
be 99%. I'll be on time.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, guys. Thanks for joining. Have a nice day.